So, if you've been struggling today and you've just been in denial about spiritual ego death or just trying to be better for yourself, and you know it's been coming, you know you've been on the road to healing, and you've just been in denial this whole time. So, out of Inward, in Pueblo's first book, I'm going to read you this, and I feel like it's super important for those that have been struggling today, and maybe it will help you understand what ego death is really like and how much of a practice it is before you decide to make the whole jump, before you're spiritually ejected into it anyway. I just want to prepare you on all sides, from the beginning to the end, in the middle, any single detail. And I feel like Young Pueblo's got a really good recap here. So it's page 163 if you have the book. Love cannot cause pain. Attachments cause pain. We create attachments in our mind when we want to hold on to something or someone. 111. Hold on to something at 111. Or someone. Or when we expect things to be a certain way. When the attachments that we create in our minds break, we feel their rupture deeply. How deeply depends on how much we identify with the image that we have created. When things happen contrary to these images that we hold dear in our minds, we feel pain from these attachments being stretched and broken. So, love causes that pain. Or we thought we did, we thought it was love that caused the pain. But it was the attachments, the trauma bonding, the codependency. And it says flat out right here, how deeply depends on how much we identify with the image that we created. So how much we identify with it. Is it part of our subconscious? Is it a new story? Is it been a story for 4 to 5 years? It is how your mental capacity now has controlled you, and your own ego has controlled you, versus you and your spiritual backbone controlling your ego and your mental capacity. Right here, it tells us that we are our own villain, really. We cause ourselves that own pain. That's what he's saying. Attachments that cause pain. We create attachments in our mind when we want to hold on to something or someone, or when we expect things to be a certain way. So when I do this for someone, I expect that back. So when it doesn't happen, there's another attachment that now I'm in pain about. So, second paragraph. Attachments are not a form of true love. Unconditional love, selfless love, a love without expectations, is a higher form of existence that creates no attachments or images. It is a state of profound egolessness. Profound egolessness. It is a state of profound energy because you don't have any ego. You have nothing blocking you or your judgment at 333. You're completely whole with yourself, and that feeling is so freeing, you guys. Expectations and judgments are attachments that the untrained mind repeatedly creates, causing more knots and burdens that impede our happiness. The typical human mind is eclipsed by the delusion of ego. The ego separates, categorizes, and labels everything that it comes across, causing our discontent and misunderstanding. So, if one part of us energetically can separate, categorize, and label everything that it comes across, why couldn't we do that for ourselves? Why are we allowing our mental capacity to control us along with our emotions, versus us being able to separate, categorize, and label everything? That's exactly what head over heart versus heart over head is really about, and mastering the emotions. And when you're mastering the emotions, it goes hand in hand with ego death. And when you're able to unpack what the ego has been hoarding, when you're able to let these evil spirits go, when you're able to work through the trauma, you are then able to separate things better in your mind mentally, because you're getting better control of it. And at first you feel like an octopus, and your mind is just mentally going here, and then it's mentally going there and here and here and here. But then the more that you practice, the more that you know, the more that you trust your intuition, the more that you realize these attachments ain't getting you anywhere, it's easier to manipulate your mental state with your positive intention if you're in the upright. And you're able to then separate it, and you're able to really see the truth for what it is, because you've already ripped off the illusion. You've already seen what it's really about. So then you can categorize it. That's where those red flags come in, like, oh shit, I don't want to deal with that. Or, hey, this is a really good opportunity, whether it's love, finance, career, it don't matter. You're able to categorize it better because you can see it for the truth, because you've ripped off that illusion. You're accepting it for what it was, because it was an attachment that you created, that you allowed your emotions to let you delve into, creating a polaric imbalance that burdened you by this delusion of ego. What is a delusion? Delusion versus illusion. I mean, illusions can be positive, but it's also just taking the truth off. Just because you've known it forever doesn't mean it's right. And a delusion of ego, you are allowing it to be everything that it's not. You are allowing yourself to be everything that it's not. And when you do that, it says right here, causing our discontent and misunderstanding. He doesn't say discontent and misunderstanding with anybody else. He says it right there within you. No one else has your ego. Your ego isn't within this person's flesh. Their flesh might be evil, but is your good light inside? Sure, maybe if you're reflecting against it, right? Because when you're reflecting against, it's this. Against is never a negative term in the Bible, okay? It's against. It's just like this person talking to this person, right? I'm against this person talking to this person, and I'm sharing my energy back and forth in between. So how is that any different than a mirror? How is that any different than a mirror? You are waiting to come home to you, and no one else is going to do it for you. No one else. You know why they're discontent and misunderstanding you? Is because you are discontent inside and misunderstanding yourself. Inward. This is what it talks about. Attachments are not a form of true love, but unconditional love, selfless love, and a love without expectations is a higher form of existence. It's so true, because once that ego death goes away, you have all this divine energy inside you, this truth, this helping, healing love and light that you can help the others on the planet without expectations. I don't ask for anything back. It's just the typical human mind is eclipsed by the delusion of ego. Eclipsed, what a great word, because you're literally just taking that illusion right off, or delusion, right? All right, so I'm going to pick one more spot really quick because I'm doing this again. Maybe he'll find one that pertains to what he's trying to say today, because it's a huge ego reminder. Like, people just need to... Ego death is coming for a lot. A lot of people are waking up right now. All of us lions are waking up to roar, and I feel like with the energy I've been feeling today, it's just unstoppable now. Nothing is too hard for Jesus. So this one, which I've already gone through this part of the book. Every time I meet more of myself, I can know and love more of you. A person grows in beauty whenever they move away from what harms them and into their own power. That's the one. It's this one that Jehovah wants to share. A person grows in beauty whenever they move away from what harms them, and a person grows in beauty whenever they move into their own power. Ego death is coming, y'all. It's time to step into your own power. You are the only one that can do it for you. We're not in Kansas anymore. Look around you and look within. Look in the mirror. You are yours before you are anyone else's. Why are you letting everyone else control you? Why do you feel like everyone else is what makes you you? Because it's not. What makes you you is you, and you were created. You were created on purpose. You think God makes mistakes? Please. You don't. So stop treating yourself like a burden. Just because everyone else has treated you like a burden, do not allow yourself to sit there. If you need help going inward, if you need help looking in the mirror, let me know. Drop a comment, send me a message, whatever it is that you need. Because I feel your energy, and enough is enough. You deserve better than this, and you will allow this to continue the more that you do. It's up to you if you want to conquer your emotions. It's up to you if you want to master this game. It's up to you if you want to create your own tapestry instead of letting everybody walk over you like the rug that they think you are. Okay? A tapestry is beautiful. The picture is so hard to sometimes just see all at once because it's just so overwhelmingly detailed. It takes so much to just look at the whole tapestry as it hangs there. Every single glistening thread, every single beauty mark, every single repetitive pattern that just makes the whole picture it, right? But then on the back side of this tapestry, it's guts. This thread is everywhere, and it just has an eyesore in 1122. And it's all mingled and meshed and put together, very complex. And it just looks like a mess. It's overwhelming. It might be an eye sensory overload. You don't even want to look at it. You rather look at the front because it's a prettier picture to look at. But you're not seeing when you look in the mirror. When you're not seeing, when you look at this tapestry, honey. The eyesore inside is still there. Your internal guts of the tapestry are still there. You were created on purpose. The outside and the inside. The outside, beautiful representation of your lampstand. And the inside internal guts that no one wants to look at, including you. Every single part of you was created on purpose. There is not one part of you that is not worthy. There is not one part of you that is not good enough. There is not one part of you that should be burdened. And there is not one part of you that should be anyone else's. If no one has told you lately, I am proud of you. I am so proud of you because of what you've done, where you've been, who you are now, and who you're going to become, because it is hard work. It is so hard. It takes guts, and it takes courage, and it takes bravery. It takes bravery to understand why you feel insecure about yourself. It takes bravery to understand that only you can get yourself out of that wildfire. Only you can change the direction of your polaric balance into that positive. Only you. It is only you. It's not them. It's not whoever you're trying to fill your cup with. That's not yourself. No one else is going to give you that satisfaction that you need, your own strength, your faith, your belief system, any of that. They're not going to do that for you. It's you. It's your way of life. It's your light that shines. It is your light that shines. It is your light that fuels which direction you go, which choices you make, what behavior you choose. It is your light within, not theirs, no one else's. At 555. It is your way and the divine's way, no one else's. It's your body, it's your soul. You know, yesterday I just watched this Todd White sermon. I'll put it in the description box, called He Removed It. And he brought up a very good point about, well, didn't Jesus walk in the flesh? Or Yeshua, really, the HaMashiach. And his crowd's like, yeah. Well, was his flesh evil? Was his flesh evil? Now that really threw me for a loop, because no, my flesh is just flesh, right? The cover of the chapters of the light within of the book, it's just flesh. It stays behind. It doesn't go anywhere when we leave, when this light, when this battery fuel, when this operating system is gone. It's just going to be the skin, right? So what's evil then? Our flesh or our skin? Or Oh gosh, you guys, 7-Eleven. I know I just repeated myself, but I'm hearing two things at once right now. Intentions. Thank you, Yoga. You just say it, Yoga. You just bring it in. Evil intentions within, even though you think you have a positive light, because your light can't seek through, so it's getting stuck within the fog, and the fog is bringing it along with it, almost like a crop dust, kind of like I'm just getting this whole just crop dust, like ha ha ha, very funny for you pervs out there. Sheesh, what are you boys? Crop dust, like I just see it like this fog, and when your light goes through it, it's still pertaining to in your shadows, and it's still gonna, you know, entangle and bring some of it along, these embers. So you're still gonna be fighting it and all of that. And so when you have those evil intentions, even though you're fighting yourself, that maybe this evil spirit within is fighting your true, most authentic self, and that's what you're not proud of. Is you're not proud of that. You can't even distinguish the fact that your light is separate than your flesh. You can't distinguish the fact that you don't need anybody else to continue your light going besides you and Jehovah. You don't seem to understand that no one else is going to be able to do the things that you can do for yourself, or that Jehovah can do for yourself. By way of Yeshua, there is no way that anyone else can do what you need to do for yourself. And trust me, honey, I've been there. I've done it. I've been in your shoes. I understand insecurity. I understand that you feel like you're never going to get yourself out of this. I understand what it feels like to have no one be on your side, no one to support you, no one to be on your cheerleading team. So I'm here for you. I am proud of you, and I hope that you are proud of yourself, because look at everything else that you've been through. And all you keep doing is repeating this cycle, because you're refusing to realize, you're refusing to open your viewpoint and see and look within. You're refusing to look in the mirror. And the mirror is there not to show you how horrible you are inside, because you yourself got there. The mirror is there to show you what the truth is. The mirror is there to show you what's truly inside and how beautiful you are. The mirror is there to show you that no matter how much you accept yourself, you can still love yourself. You can still be brave. You can still be brave and look in the mirror every day. You don't look at them every day. You don't look at anybody else's light besides yours when you look in the mirror. So why are you trying to find somebody else? Wounds into light.